go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another College and Career Pathways, where every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we provide you with information on various colleges and universities, financial aid resources, skilled trade professions, employment opportunities, career readiness skills, all designed to help you make the best career decisions possible. I'm Toni Cureton, your host, and today we are visiting with Washtenaw Community College. Julie, we are so glad to have you. Thank you for giving us your time and sharing the programs that Washtenaw is offering.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for attending today. I've been very excited to speak with everybody. I'm not very familiar with your school, but I love the whole concept of it. And so I'm just very excited to meet you guys today. Today, I'm just going to talk a little bit about Washtenaw Community College, and you can feel free to put things in the chat. I'm not really good about checking it. So Ms. Cureton, if you see this,
I will. I'll monitor it for you.
Yeah, and honestly, if you want to unmute yourself, feel free to talk to me. I just want to make sure you guys are getting out of it what you need to get out of it. So today we're going to talk about Washtenaw, tuition and financial aid, how to become a student, and then we just do have a little information about dual enrollment as well. So at Washtenaw, we're constantly winning awards. Our labs are always winning awards, our programs are winning awards, but basically we have the highest accreditation. And what that would mean for you as a student, we have the highest accreditation. So if you take our classes, the credits can transfer anywhere, even out of state. And so if you think, you know what, I want to get a bachelor's degree, but I want to start at a community college, get my feet wet, take some classes, transfer them to whatever university I want to go to after. That becomes really important, the accreditation with the schools. And we do have the highest, to give you guys like some information about that. I don't think a lot of people kind of think that through when they're thinking, I'll go to a community college, but I just want you guys to know that we do have the highest accreditation. And so we have what we call a University Transfer Center. 70% of our students are intending to go to a university. So they're coming to us intending to transfer. And so we have great partnerships with all the other colleges around. We're University of Michigan Ann Arbor's biggest feeder school. More of our students transfer to University of Michigan Ann Arbor than any other school. We have great relationship with them to help the students facilitate that transfer process. And then there's a lot of transfer agreements. The Michigan transfer agreement is a great one. You just complete, if you want to get an associate's degree, the 2-year degree, or bachelor's degree, the 4-year degree, you always have to do 1 year of general education classes. And so this Michigan transfer agreement is really safe for people who don't know what they want to do, or they don't know what college they want to transfer to, because you can take the classes under this umbrella, and the schools in the other colleges in Michigan guarantee you they're going to take your credits. So this is a really safe way to do some transferring at Washtenaw or in any other school if they offer it too. So we are very well known for how many degrees and certificates we have. We have more than 130. We also have completely online programs too, in case you're interested in doing that. And hopefully I'll remember to go to the website and kind of show you guys how to kind of navigate it to get the information you need. But basically we have different divisions. We have health sciences, business and entrepreneurship if you wanted to open up your own business, human services, education, public safety, if you want to become a police officer. We have a police academy here. Of course, we have so many manufacturing and automotive programs. We're always winning awards for our automotive and welding programs. We do have broadcast arts, communication, digital media arts. So if you in lots of computer, like engineering and different engineering options, of course, computer, the computer science, computer technology, engineering, and math. We do have skilled trades and construction, and then we also have apprenticeship programs for the trades. So really there's a lot of variety depending on what students would like to do. Generally speaking, they can at least start at Washtenaw, transfer, or they can get their whole program done at Washtenaw. There's a few options in terms of when you go to college at Washtenaw, you can get certificates, and they're approximately 9 to 36 credit hours. Each class is about 3 credit hours, 3 to 4, to give you an idea. So this could just be as little as 3 classes to get a certificate. And a lot of people who think, you know, I need to start working. I need to get my foot in the door, I need to go, and they'll come to Washtenaw, get a certificate, and that will be enough for them to get their foot in the door to get a job. And then some students will keep taking classes, they can turn their certificate into an advanced certificate with more classes, and then that kind of will give them an opportunity to kind of maybe move up with your current job, maybe make more money, and then associate's degree, that would be the next degree. We offer those. They're approximately 60 to 72 credits long, usually like 2 years, maybe a little more if you're doing like a nursing or physical therapist assistant or radiography, the people who take the x-rays, because you have like clinical placements for those degrees. And we do offer post-associate certificates. That's for people who've already completed an associate's degree, that 2-year degree. Then they can get, it's like a specialty certificate they can get after that. So like MRI programs, that's a post-associate certificate that people can get here at Washtenaw. And so right now, for the classes we're offering currently, and it'll be the same for the fall, we offer 3 different kind of options. Actually, we do offer 4. The first one would be, you know, traditional classes. You come to campus, you take your class, you go home. A virtual classroom is where we're doing what we're doing now. Like my class might be Monday, Wednesday from 12 to 2, and I'm logged on wherever I'm at every Monday, Wednesday, 12 to 2, which I'm thinking might be what you guys do. And so that's what virtual would be. And then we do have online classes, which are self-paced. There will be some like certain dates you have to like turn this assignment in by this date, do this exam by this date. And so there'll be parameters in it, but basically it's online. You just kind of self-motivate and do the assignments in the time you have to. You don't have to be there at a certain time of day to do the classes. And then mixed mode labs, because of COVID, we weren't able to offer a lot of classes for a long time because, you know, the college was closed. But now, so like if I want to take a welding class or maybe a photography class or an auto class, you know, something that has like a lab where you need the technology at school to do it, we have that option. So like your class might be an online class or it might be virtual, but you would only come to class to do your lab portion that you wouldn't be able to do at home. So that's kind of great that we're able to offer that now so that people can take, you know, the classes they want to take. One thing I love about Washtenaw is there's so much student support. We have success coaches. They'll be your coach for that first year in college. If you need help with anything, managing your like study skills, or you're doing, you know, having a hard time, you can always go to them and they can kind of coach you and maybe point you in the right direction if it's something, you know, that they can't help with. We have librarians who are research extravaganza helpers. So if you need to write a paper, I always recommend, at least the first few times, talking to a librarian, because just finding the way you need to do research for these things can take so much time. And you tell them, you know, this is what I want to do, maybe this is what the assignment is, and they can really help cut down the amount of time you're spending because they can give you ideas of how to research it, you know, and where to go for your research. So that's a great resource. We do have a writing center, which I encourage all students to take anything you're writing, even if it's just an essay, take it to the writing center because they'll read it, proofread it, give you ideas on how you can make changes. And if you're doing that every time or even every so often, that by the time you leave Washtenaw, you're going to be a really great writer because you're going to learn all these new skills, writing skills. So that works kind of, you know, 2 ways. You get a better grade, and then also you're building your skill level. So if you're going to be transferring to university, or if you're going to be writing in your job, you know, you're going to have some really great skills to take with you when you leave. We do have academic advisors, and our instructors are amazing. They're here because they want to teach. They're always available to students. If you ever want any help with anything, or if you have any questions, they're there for you for sure. And we have like accommodations, like learning support services too. So if anyone has received an IEP, 504 plan, or received any type of accommodation, generally speaking, you can continue it here at Washtenaw. And so I think I love that part about Washtenaw too, but there's just so many, so much support. We have free tutoring. I took all my hard classes here at Washtenaw. I took chemistry and science, and math, because I had tried to take chemistry at Eastern, which I went to first, and then I came here as a guest student and went back, but I couldn't pass chemistry, and I stopped going to college for a few years because I had to pass that to get my degree. And I tried, and I couldn't do it. The classroom, there's like 300 people in the class. I couldn't ask questions. And so then I came back after saying I can't do it, talked to my advisor at Eastern. She said, go take it at Washtenaw. They have free tutoring and the class sizes are really small. In my chemistry class here at Washtenaw, I think there was like 15 people in it. And then I was able to ask questions, and then I got the free tutoring and I passed with the C, which for me, I'm like, I'm the smartest woman in the world. I passed with the C. It was like, oh my gosh, changed my life, because now I can graduate from college. And that was the first class I took here at Washtenaw. And that made such a huge difference for me, that I took my math, which is really hard for me too, and writing classes. So I did all the classes that are really hard for me here at Washtenaw with the free tutoring in the small class sizes where you could get more one-on-one attention. And then I just transferred those to Eastern. So there's different ways you can use Washtenaw. So if you decide you're going to go to university, don't forget that you guys can definitely come at any time as guest students too. So really, we're here for you, whatever you need. And then we have a lot of student activities and kind of the college experience at Washtenaw. So if people like to write, or you'd like to work for a newspaper, you thought, that might be fun, I want to try it. We have an award-winning student-run newspaper that you can work on staff. And that's a great thing. Or you could write for the paper. And that's a great thing that you can put on your resume. In college, I, work for this award-winning college student newspaper run by the college students. So those kind of little things like this, the extracurricular, can mean a lot in your resume. And then we also have international honor societies, student organizations. We have so many clubs. We have sports. So there's a lot of ways to get involved. Oh, we have a radio station if you wanted to try being on the radio or work for a radio station. So there's lots of ways to have some fun too. So Alpha Scholars, what this is a new thing we've been doing. So if you're a senior and then you're gonna graduate this June, and then you're gonna come to Washtenaw in the fall, this is for graduating seniors, and this is kind of amazing. This is gonna be a cohort, a group of you'll take the same classes and you'll move together at the same time. So you're developing these relationships. You guys are able to study together, and then it's like block scheduling. So it's just a little different approach, but it's kind of great because it offers you something different than you can normally do in a college. You can stay with your cohort and kind of really make great connections. And if you guys are even interested in hearing more about it, our advisors can tell you about it, and they could probably explain it better than I could too. But I know people are really enjoying it. And so at Washtenaw, we are the most affordable college in Michigan. We are voted one of the best online colleges in the United States. I think we're top 16 in the United States. And so like I was saying about winning awards, we've got so many things like that, but I just wanted to let you know online too, you're going to be in good hands. Excuse me. Talking too much. Excuse me. So the application's free. It takes about 15 minutes. And I always say, excuse me, I always say we don't nickel and dime. Application's free, parking is free. There's just everything is free. You can check out books in the sometimes instructors will put their books in the libraries so students can use them for free. So there's lots of ways to save money at Washtenaw too. So you don't go broke with, college loans. And so here's the rates for Washtenaw. If you live in district, which means you live in Washtenaw County, it's $95 per credit hour. Out of county, which would be anywhere outside of Washtenaw County, it's $167 per credit hour. Generally speaking, if you're going full time, it's 12 credits. And the reason why out of district is more than in district is because people who live in Washtenaw County pay taxes to the school, whether they're, using the school or not. And so we have to give them a discount. So 167 is the regular rate, the out of district rate is regular. So, it's kind of shocking when you have to sit and think about, oh my gosh, I got to pay for college now. But there's lots of ways to kind of help you do it. And I always tell people, if there's a will, there's a way. Even if you think I don't have money to go to college, my family can't afford to pay for me to go to college. If there's a will, there's a way. Come see us. We'll help you find a way to do it. Financial aid is huge. There's so much free money in scholarships and grants for students now that definitely we always recommend people apply for financial aid. And then we also offer high school scholarships too. And so this is kind of giving you an idea of the difference. So like for full year college, for someone who's in district, it'd be a little over $2,000 a year for a student here at Washtenaw. And I think an out of district student would be like $3,500 a year. And so like 13,140, that's like an Eastern Michigan University per year price. And then the 32,000, that's like a U of M, or Michigan State price per year for college. And so that's why I think so many students come to us and then transfer to U of M because they want their degree from U of M. But if they come to us like 1 or 2 years, they're saving enough to buy a really nice car or down payment on a house. And so there's really ways to get that really high dollar degree without paying the high dollar prices now. And students are really getting savvy. And so that's why I think so many students are taking advantage of community colleges such as Washtenaw. So if you decide you want to apply, it's free, easy. It takes like 15 minutes. You fill out an application. And so you guys, when you're graduating for high school, you would say you're high school to college. So you'd be a freshman, you'd put on your application, and then you keep your eye on your email because as soon as that application's processed, you'll receive an email with your student ID number and your next steps. And the next steps are going to be to create your gateway account. And in this gateway account, you're going to have an application checklist. And so on this checklist, you'll have some sort of like testing you'll need to do because we need to know where you're at academically so you can go into the proper classes for you academically. And then you'll attend an orientation. And if you're under 18, there might be a couple of forms you have your parents fill out. But basically it's pretty short and sweet and it's free. Everything's free. If you do everything and then decide, nope, I'm not going, you're not out anything and there's no commitment, which I like too, because it's an option for students. And then you always meet with an advisor before you register for your classes. And then you'll be hooked up with your success team who, are going to help you be successful your first year in college. I don't know if you guys really participate in dual enrollment, so I'll just quickly. Dual enrollment is when you're going to high school and you're taking college classes at the same time. You can do that through Washtenaw. And so that's definitely an option for students. And if you're interested in that, I think you'd probably speak with your high school counselor and then you guys can talk about it, if it makes sense. Okay, so I was just going to say, you apply online, 15 minutes, complete your checklist. And then I just wanted to give you guys this real quick. So that when I said you have to do some type of placement testing, so we know where you are academically, one of the things I love about Washtenaw, we have an open door policy, which means you don't have to be at a certain level academically to get in. We allow everyone to come in because if you're not where you need to be academically, we have classes you can take to get you to where you need to be so you can go ahead and do what you want. And so the placement testing is going to help us determine, where you are and what you kind of need to do coming in. So you can either take a placement writing test. It's really easy. You have like 3 choices of like a topic to write, and it's only like 500 words or maybe even less, but basically that's called the writing sample, and that will be graded for reading and writing writing. Or if you were like me and you feel like you're a better test taker than a writer, we have a test called the Accuplacer. That's a free placement test and it's multiple choice. So you can do, if you feel like you're better writing, do the writing sample. You feel like you do better test taking, you can do the Accuplacer, or if you've graduated, if you have a 3.0 GPA or higher after your junior year in high school, you can submit your high school transcript and that'll give you college level. You could submit a copy of a PSAT, SAT, or ACT. So there's different ways to kind of do your testing. And I think that's kind of the thing that most students are kind of have a lot of questions about. And so I just wanted to give you some information on that. So I see let me see if there's things in the chat. Okay, electrician program, what's the deadline to apply? So what I would recommend doing about the electrician program, we have an advisor for all of that area. And so I would talk with that advisor. I always get it confused. She's like a trades advisor, and that's one of the trades, the electrician. I'm not sure if it's something you can just go into a college. It might be something where you have to have a be like sponsored by a union. But the trades advisor can tell you exactly what you need to do if that's what you want to do. So even if it's not something you can do like at Washtenaw, they can kind of point you in the direction so you can do that if that's what you really want to do. And so the fall registration begins at the end of August. And registration for the classes, you get to register for your classes in mid-March. So we only have like a little more than a month until registration for the fall semester. So about deadline to apply, there's no deadline. I mean, you can technically apply to be a student a week before classes begin in August. And then if you can get all your stuff done quick, and then you can register quick. There's really not a deadline. The reason why I personally recommend doing it as soon as you're able, or as soon as you're starting to even think about it, because the classes fill up really quick. And so you don't want to wait to register until August, because probably the classes you want they'll all be full by then. And if it's even something you're a senior, you want to think about it personally, I'd apply, do my checklist items so that it was ready to go once I made my final decision. And it's not much to complete your checklist items. Yes, you can still apply if you don't have a 3.0 or higher GPA. That 3.0 or higher, that's just with the placement, on your checklist, you're going to have placement testing as a checklist item. If you have a 3.0 or higher after your junior year, you can submit your high school transcript and you won't have to do any other testing. But if you don't have a 3.0, you don't have to. There's no high school GPA requirement to get into Washtenaw. Anyone have any questions, or is there anything that I missed that you guys want to hear about?
You did say that Washtenaw has its own scholarships that students can be eligible for.
Yes, and this is our website. So I wanted to show you this. That's a great question. So this is Washtenaws website. I personally, there's a lot of information, so it can get overwhelming, I find. So what I do to find my business that I'm looking for, I type everything in the search bar. And so I'm going to look up scholarships. See, I've typed it in so many times, it's going to come up. But basically, just type it in and then you pick which one you think is the best option. And so, so here is information about Washtenaw scholarships. There's a whole bunch of them, like all listed already. So there's really a lot of money to go to school. That's why I tell people you might have to try a little bit, but seriously, even applying for these scholarships, honestly, it doesn't take that much effort and you can get like a whole year of college paid for. It's pretty amazing how simple it is these days to apply for scholarships.
It really is. I think a lot of students, they just don't think that they will qualify, or if they feel that they qualify, they think that there's so many candidates that they won't be considered or they won't win. But there are many scholarships that go unclaimed because no one thought that they would get it, and so they didn't even apply.
That's 100% true. We have so many scholarships that happens every year. not enough people apply. And so the money's sitting there.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
from my understanding, even if you're not even, so you apply for the scholarship, even if I'm not like 100% qualified for the scholarship, if not enough people apply, you're going to automatically get it.
absolutely, absolutely,
So that's what I like to tell people. Try. It's worth your time. Seriously, it's just worth it to try.
absolutely. You
Mhm.
know, it's like the commercial says, you can't win if you don't play.
Mhm.
You know, also I always advise our students to have, you know, an essay handy, just have it ready. That way, when the scholarships are available, you can just shoot it right off, you know, because for the most part, they all asked very similar questions. They ask about what your plans are, you know, to give them some background about you as a candidate and why you feel you deserve it. And if you put a 250 or 500 word essay that encompasses all of those elements, you pretty much are fulfilling, you know, the essay requirements or the questions that they may ask, you know, on the different scholarships. And that way you never miss out, you know, because it's not really hard to take about 15-30 minutes to write about you and what your plans are, you know.
Absolutely. And have someone proofread it and, take their feedback and, adjust if you feel like you need to. It is so worth your time and it's worth the effort. I totally feel like that. And, not everyone has someone helping them to go to college. And so this can make a difference for people, you just got to try.
Good deal. And so overall, Washtenaw has a 15 to 20 person classroom size.
Yeah, well, they say 18 to 22, but there's
Okay.
many classes that aren't even not even 18. So
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah, depending on the classes, like, so there's auto classes that they cap the amount of students like to 8 because they want to be able to work with you one-on-one.
Sure,
And so it
sure.
just, yeah, it depends on what classes. So we say average 18 to 22, but many classes don't even have that many. Yeah.
That's really awesome. Um, I don't see any more questions in the chat, and I don't have any more questions. Julie, that was a great presentation. You guys have a great, um, you have many great programs within Washtenaw Community College. And the tuition, oh my God.
It's
For
amazing.
example, oh my God, because here, like for example, in Macomb Community College, the tuition is 97 in district, but out of district is double that, you know? So I'm looking at your tuition and I'm like, duh, that's a good deal, you know? That is an excellent deal tuition wise, because, you know, again, it's so expensive and it can be a ginormous barrier for the student that is just really trying to, you know, better themselves and have a good, decent life, you know. It can mean the difference, you know, in everything, you know,
I
all things
totally agree.
considered, you
Mhm.
know. With that being said, so then, with that being said, a student can conceivably go to Washtenaw and do some of the online classes that you have, especially Gen Ed,
Yep.
and save some money that way, as opposed to going out of district in, you know, if they're from Wayne County and go out of district to Macomb County, they could save even more money if they went to Washtenaw.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, okay.
And I
That
just
that
wanted to show you guys this real quick. Sorry to interrupt, but in case people want to stay, online, I just typed in online programs, and then here's a page you guys can read about what we have for online programs too.
oh wow.
In addition to online programs, we do have a whole bunch of online classes, just classes, but there are options for whole degrees being online.
Oh, wow. That's really good information, Julie.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, then we'll bring this to a close. And thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, everybody. If anyone has any questions or wants help moving forward, I'm gonna put my phone number really quick in here. I should have done that earlier for you guys. And then, or email me. I'll help you with whatever you need. I can help you through the whole process. If you have questions, I'm here for you guys.
Good deal. I'll
Yeah.
also make sure that I publish the link that your survey is connected to.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I forgot to
No
mention that.
problem. No problem at all.
Okay, guys, well, have a great week. Hopefully I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Julie.
You're
You
welcome.
have a great day. Thanks
Thank
everybody
you.
for joining.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.